The president finally arrives for Nnamdi Kanu's release. What happens next if Nnamdi Kanu signs this deal? This will amaze you. Anyway, dear listeners, I greet you. I greet you. I greet everybody who listen to me through the channel. This is the Lord TV. Now, so the president of Burkina Faso, as we all know him, Traore, has arrived in Nigeria after a careful watch and a careful observation and a careful look at the judgment delivered by Justice James Omotosho. Yes, this guy, he don't enter Nigeria with immediate effect. Less than 24 hours after this very judgment was delivered, this guy entered Nigeria with his delegates. My people, well, a lot of people said that the coming of this guy is going to change a lot of things. Why? Reason being that he has used his powers and his position as a president, to help a lot of people. A lot of people, most especially people that have been in this kind of Nnamdi Kanu's case. Let me tell you now. Now, everything being equal, you will believe and see that Traore, of all people, not just today, has been speaking about this and also has been warning and pleading to the federal government on the issue of Nnamdi Kanu. Yes. So now you will see that now that he has come, he is going to at least play one very positive role that will surely, surely lead to the freedom of the IPOP leader. I want to pay attention to what has just been revealed right now since his arrival. Let's pay attention. This is the reality. Let's listen.
Plane touched down and slowed to a stop. Security agents and airport staff stood ready. The door opened, and President Ibrahim Traore stepped out calmly. He looked focused, as if he had come with a mission that he had already prepared in his mind. He walked down the stairs without rushing, his expression steady, showing no sign of fear or excitement. He looked like a man who knew exactly what he wanted to say and exactly why he was here. Not long after, before people even fully settled from Traore's arrival, another aircraft approached. This one carried President William Ruto of Kenya. The two arrivals were planned to be close together, and it surprised many people who saw it happening with their own eyes. Ruto also stepped out of his plane with a calm and serious look on his face. Just like Traore, he did not come to smile for the cameras. He came for something important. The news spread faster than wildfire around the airport and through the city. Before an hour passed, people across Nigeria were already talking about the two presidents. Social media buzzed with short messages, questions, and guesses. Why were they both in Nigeria? What were they coming to discuss? Why did they arrive on the same morning? The answers were not clear to the public yet, but inside the airport, the message was simple and direct. Both presidents had come because of Nnamdi Kanu's case. They walked into a secured hall inside the airport where Nigerian officials were waiting to receive them formally. After the greetings, the two leaders did not waste time. They spoke openly and clearly about the reason for their visit. President Traore began with a firm voice, not loud, but steady enough to show how serious he was. He said, "We are here today because we believe Nnamdi Kanu should not be given life imprisonment. We are here to talk with Nigeria's government and to speak for fairness."
Ruto of Kenya, the current president of Kenya. In fact, this guy, since he came into power, he has been frowning at this very judgment. He has been frowning. He has been frowning at the continuous detention of Nnamdi Kanu, let alone this judgment that has just been delivered. He has been questioning the action of his predecessor, Kenyatta. He has never been happy for one day. Now you can see that these two presidents, Burkina Faso and Kenya, president, arrived the same day. at the same time. That is to let you know how urged they are about this case of Mazen Kanu. Listen to what Traore got to say, because he swapped into action with immediate effect to review and say his mind. Listen.
Not punishment that brings more pain. His message was simple, but it carried weight. Everyone in the room listened closely. There were no long speeches or complicated words. He spoke like someone who wanted to solve a problem, not create one. When he finished, President Ruto stepped forward and continued in the same clear and calm tone. He said, "This visit is not about politics or pressure. It is about justice and fairness. We want peace in Africa, and peace grows when people are treated fairly. We believe that life imprisonment is not the right answer in this case." His words were also simple, but strong enough to make the room feel heavier. The Nigerian officials looked from one president to the other, knowing that this was not a small matter. It was rare for two African leaders to travel together to speak on a single issue, and that alone showed how serious they believed the situation was. After the short statements, both presidents were taken to their cars. Their convoys left the airport quietly, without any noise or public display. They were driven straight into the city, where more private discussions were planned for later in the day. The roads were cleared for them, and although many people along the way did not know why the cars were passing, they could feel that something unusual was happening. Throughout the city, people continued talking. Some wondered if their visit meant that something big was happening within the government. Others thought the presidents were trying to help solve a long-standing issue in a peaceful way. Everyone had their own thoughts, but one thing was clear: this was not a normal visit. Inside their cars, Traore and Ruto remained quiet, each thinking about what they would say in their meetings. They were not here to fight or argue. They had both made it clear that their aim was peace. They wanted Nigeria to understand that giving Nnamdi Kanu life imprisonment would not bring calm to the country. Instead, it could bring more tension, more anger, and more division. They believed that a better path was possible. As their convoys entered Abuja, the sun rose a little higher, and the city slowly returned to its usual rhythm. But the arrival of the two presidents had already changed the air. Nigeria was not just dealing with a local issue anymore. The whole of Africa was watching, and the message was clear: fairness mattered. And this was only the beginning of their mission. The meeting with President Tinubu's government was scheduled for later in the afternoon, and by the time President Ibrahim Traore and President William Ruto arrived at the government building, the atmosphere inside was already tense. The officials knew the two leaders had come with a strong message, and everyone wanted to hear exactly what they had to say. Even though the visit was peaceful, it was still unusual for two presidents to travel to another country simply to speak about a single legal case. That alone made the meeting feel heavy even before it began. As Traore and Ruto entered the large conference room, they greeted the Nigerian officials politely. There were no cameras, no reporters, and no noise. It was a private meeting, and everyone in the room understood the seriousness of the moment. Chairs were arranged around a long table, and the leaders sat down slowly, taking a moment to settle before the discussion began. The Nigerian officials opened the meeting by thanking them for coming, but it was clear that they were also curious and a little unsure about what the two presidents would demand. They were expecting strong words, but they were not sure how far the discussion would go. President Traore was the first to speak. He did not raise his voice or use complicated language. His tone was calm, respectful, and very direct. He looked around the room and said, "We came because the case of Nnamdi Kanu has created concern across Africa. Many people are watching Nigeria right now. We believe that giving him life imprisonment would not bring peace. We believe it would create more problems. We came to ask for fairness." Everyone listened carefully. His message was simple, but the meaning was deep. He spoke like a leader who was more interested in peace than in power. He continued slowly, giving each sentence time to settle in the minds of the officials. "We know Nigeria is a strong nation. We know you have your laws, and we respect that. But we also believe that justice must protect peace. Life imprisonment will not solve the tension around this issue. It may make it worse." After he finished, the room was quiet for a few seconds. Then President Ruto leaned forward slightly and spoke with the same calm energy. He did not talk in a way that challenged the Nigerian government. He talked in a way that invited understanding. He said, "We are not here to argue. We are not here to fight your decisions. We are here because Africa needs peace. We believe that the way this case is handled will affect the whole region, not just Nigeria. It is bigger than one man. It is about stability." His words were soft, but they carried strength. He explained that too much punishment can sometimes lead to more anger, and that anger can grow into conflict. He made it clear that Kenya and Burkina Faso were not choosing sides. They were choosing peace. Then he added, "We believe there is a better path. We believe that dialogue, understanding, and fairness will lead to a peaceful future. We ask that you consider a solution that does not destroy one man's life completely." The Nigerian officials looked at each other quietly. They were surprised that both presidents spoke so gently but still so firmly. The officials had expected demands or pressure, but instead they heard calm reasoning and a call for unity. One of the officials asked Traoré, "Why did you decide to come in person? You could have sent a message." Traoré answered without hesitation, "Because this is important. Some matters cannot be handled from far away. When peace is at risk, it is better to speak face to face. We came to show respect, not to force anything." Ruto nodded and added, "A message can be misunderstood. But when we speak in person, you can hear our hearts, not just our words." The meeting continued with questions and explanations. The Nigerian officials expressed their concerns about national security, while the two presidents explained how fairness could actually help calm the situation instead of increasing tension. The conversation stayed respectful the entire time. Even when disagreements appeared, everyone spoke calmly and listened closely. As the hours passed, something shifted in the room. The officials began to understand that the two presidents were not attacking Nigeria's government.
The wise, only the wise will look at Nnamdi Kanu's case and see that it is unfair. Only the wisdom, those with wisdom, will look at the judgment passed against Nnamdi Kanu and see that it is an unfair judgment. Ruto of Kenya and Traoré of Burkina Faso, they both are people with wisdom. Because even before now, they have already started, condemning the action of this very country called Nigeria. I'm telling you, they have already started doing that. But was this country ready to pay attention? No, they were not. My dear listeners, please help me to share this video. Let it go viral. Don't let it end up with you. Please, if you really want to help Nnamdi Kanu out of this case, share it. Let it go everywhere and let everyone be informed about this. Bikono. Thank you.